You had me at Battle Droids. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zereth Prevails. We're in the plan, folks, which is my weekly show that I talk about the various things that happen on the holotables. And there's some news today, and I think next week is going to be a crazy week. But we have a new character out. We have all kinds. We have like a new kind of mechanic out because of this character, which I'm just very interested by it, guys. There's the question of like, what do I've talked about what we should do about other characters farming, with Tuscans, with Afra, etc. But what do we do with Zorii? People have asked that. They're like, well, why aren't you even talking about her? And so we'll talk about her today. That'll be fun. There's all kinds of stuff going on, guys. And man, it's the calm before the storm. It's the inhalation before the plunge. The anticipation before the insert thing you are anticipating. That could turn interesting. So let's move on. We've got thank you to my patrons once again, guys. Thank you so much for everything you do for me, for the support. I couldn't do what I do without you, and it is truly appreciated, guys. Thank you so much. You are heroes in every way. Maybe not in every way, but I like you all the same. I like you and your mom likes you. Probably. She might not. I'm not sure. But one way or another, guys, if you want to support the channel for free, all you've got to do is hit that like button, subscribe, comment. You can ding the bell if you want notifications on my fresh new content. Not to mention, I keep trying to find a time that I can do a live stream on YouTube, and I think you have to have the bell dinged or something if you want to get a notification. That could be totally wrong, but I would recommend it, guys. This isn't Taco Bell. It's way better, I'm guessing. So, in terms of videos that I've put out this week, I spent a lot of time on videos this week, in fact. Like, lots and lots of time, and they're for videos that I'm like, man, they're like very speculative, because, Faction Essentials, they're slow build. They're videos that people don't want to watch because they're 40 minutes long, and I get that, but they also have a lot of information, and, eventually maybe I'll hit 10,000 views or whatever, but this week is not that week, folks. And anyways, it's a good guide on how to farm, or how to build your team, how to set it up so that you're going to be successful, and having modding and everything. It's a good resource, folks. We needed to get that out because a lot of people are unlocking Jabba right now. Admiral Trench is the latest explained video that I have, and I'm going to link that in the video description, folks. I was pretty proud of myself a little bit earlier today, because I posted it later than I usually do. I usually post them, I try to do it at 5 a.m. my time, and this time I waited until I think 7:30, and I got a lot of views. I was like, man, this is amazing. This is so cool. It was like my top viewed video for the, compared to the last 10 videos that I've put out. It was my top video by a huge margin. And then at some point it just like fell off a cliff and stopped. It was like the algorithm had discovered that I had tricked it or something, and it just dropped it. And I think I got more views in the first 2 hours than I did the rest of the day. And that can happen. It's just frustrating, man. I really, really enjoy this video series. It takes a lot of effort and time, and I'm hoping it has a lot of potential. I'm considering actually just taking out the Galaxy of Heroes component and just telling a bigger story about each of these characters. They're all short videos as well. I don't know, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. If you only want to watch them because of the Galaxy of Heroes stuff, if you think it would be okay if it was just lore. Anyways, I'm going to link that in the video description, folks. Go check it out. It's a short video. It's less than 10 minutes. So, Alright, new character is here, guys, Merrin, and I have loved Night Sisters for a long time. They're one of my favorite factions. When Gear 13 first came out, my Night Sisters, the 5-man team of Night Sisters, 5-woman team, 5 Night Sister team, came out. In the first like 10 Gear 13s I had, all 5 of that Night Sisters team was relicked, and it was exciting. It was exciting. Like they've always been one of my favorite factions, and I've always thought it was a little bit funny that CG doesn't know what to do with them, because they have made the raid mechanics so ridiculous sometimes, and CG hates them. I guess I need to make a video sometime with a thumbnail that says CG doesn't want you to know this, or something awesome with clickbait. It'll be fun. Watch me do it, folks. But Merrin is a very interesting character for a lot of reasons. She looks really strong, but there's hidden depths to it, and I don't pretend to know all of it. However, it does look very intriguing, and I will absolutely be applying the GAC Omicron for her, which is fun, I guess. Yeah. So here's the slide about it. Now, you can see there's actually 3 lines that are underlined, and it's just showing that she gains turn meter, and it can't be prevented. That means like days won't stop her from it, that you won't stop her from gaining it from shock. Jedi Master Kenobi can't stop it, or Hux. She just gains it and gains it. It's like now Kenobi's kit can kind of read in a way. It's like no one can gain, no one on his team, no one on your opponent's team can gain turn meter while he's on the field. Unless they can, but like it's just like this wild exception. And what they've been doing. So when initially they came out with turn meter, of course. I mean, turn meter has been a thing since the game's inception. But like the turn meter teams were all like Imperial Troopers, for instance. That was one of the first really strong turn meter teams. I was able to delete Night Sisters, in fact, with them. However, it was just turn meter. It wasn't anything special. Lately, what they've been doing, because there's more and more things that shut down turn meter, and like Tuskens just shut it down in a fun, other way. That isn't specifically like they just stun people who gain turn meter. They're like, oh no, feel free to gain turn meter. We're just going to pause you. We'll put you in timeout if you do that. So don't actually do that. That is foolish of you. However, nowadays, there's a lot of these things that punish turn meter gain. So a lot of characters, new Datacrons, new all this stuff, are like they still have turn meter gain in a lot of ways, but there's also a lot of bonus turns. You can see like the Africron that's been doing that. When a droid ally takes a turn, she takes a bonus turn, and that skips. Like there's not turn meter involved there at all. You don't have to worry about it. And so now this is like the next iteration. Like bonus turns are kind of like turn meter 2.0. And now I'm just calling it super turn meter on my slide here. I don't know what we'll eventually call it, but it's this sets a precedent, folks, that sometimes we can ignore people who ignore bonus turn meter. And I'm very interested to see how this all goes, folks. I don't know how to mod her yet. I think I put some mods on her, but I don't think they're good mods or anything. I'm excited. The other thing about it, though, guys, I just have to complain a tiny bit. They released her character with this really crazy ability, and you have to be Gear 12 to use it, but they won't let you get Gear 12 unless you're 7 stars. And so, even if we want to use it, try to use Paper Zombie kind of stuff, maybe she'll still be okay and a little bit viable in 3v3. Or 3v3 in Gear 13 for a while at 3 stars is what I was trying to say. Maybe she still will. I'm not sure, but I do think that without that really cool ability, whatever it's called, she won't be as good, obviously. So we'll see. I might test it out with my alt account at least. We'll see. Time will tell. I'm going to be monitoring this very, very closely. the kid looks very interesting, folks. And the fact that she can ignore any attempt to restrain her turn meter. She also has 0 speed, which, like, this whole... I'm curious to know now what Saw and Tarful are going to have. Like, Tarful doesn't have any tags that we... Like, he'll be, like, light side. And that's it. I mean, and maybe they'll do that. I think, is it, like, Visas Mar? She doesn't have any tags? Well, she still has, like, Old Republic or something, doesn't she? It's like some characters don't have any tags, but Tarful is like a new character. You'd think he would have one. So maybe we get a Wookiee tag, maybe we get, who knows. But one way or another, the new characters look pretty interesting. People have been saying that Wampa's less effective, especially against Mon Mothma teams. And if that's true, which I'm not totally buying it, because I don't really see any evidence of it. I'm not, if you believe it, then we don't have to fight or anything. I just... the thing that I'm going off on a tangent here about is, folks, maybe if it is true that Wampa is not as good against Mothma, maybe it's because they're tinkering with that squad a little bit behind the scenes so that Saw Gerrera can join that team and, you know, work the way he's supposed to work. At some point, folks, they're going to release a character that doesn't have any bugs. But today is not that day. Let's move on. Now... alongside this new character, Merrin, being released, we also have Zombie and Talia looking different. And the Zombie looks pretty creepy. And Talia is also, you know, I don't know what to tell you, folks. She is interesting. Hold on. Why don't we have the slide for her? Hold on. Ah, there we are. You guys held on for literally 1 second. It was... I hope the burden wasn't too great for you to bear. If it was... please don't tell me, because I will not respect you as much. I am sorry to say. Now, who wore it better? Talia is metallic. She's Metallica. She's Metallica. Talia. I don't. But who? Like the very first thing that it reminded me of was the mime robot in, like, the French mime robot in Eurotrip, but then other people said the Colossus, and it occurred to me that she also looks a little bit like the Tin Man as well. I don't, it's just a weird thing. Why are they working on I'm not complaining about this. I don't really care. I just, why are they working on like, she's nothing in the lore, really. She's nothing in the game, really. Like, I've been using her instead of Spirit because I like the added utility of her. You know, she can turn meter control a little bit better, and she can cleanse, which Night Sisters kind of need sometimes in this day and age. Though they'll probably all get kicked to the curb for Merrin. But otherwise, why did they update her, and why did they turn her into a robot? I don't understand, guys. Now this made me laugh. I get you guys probably can't see it that well. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me I'll try to embiggen it. that's what he said. All right, we temporarily have it embiggened. It is temporary. So, yeah, there's this message that someone sent to a guy. You know, he's like, hey, I want to report a cheater. I placed Jabba and Rey and Lord Vader on defense. He sat Jabba and Kenobi, and then he doesn't have any other galactic legends. He's a total scrub, and yet he beat my Jabba and Rey and Lord Vader. That's impossible. That's not true. That's impossible. And it made me laugh a little bit, because we've talked a lot about, like, the off meta and being able to beat these teams, and it's just so interesting how you know, and we have the names deleted and stuff. I am throwing a little shade at this guy. I'm not like, I don't really bear him ill will. it's just a very interesting mindset of, like, some people just won't accept that you can do off meta stuff. Like right now, these counters, Starkiller will just kill most Rays anyways. And so that's cool. And then, like, this bounty hunter team would probably fail if his opponent had just put a speed cron on, like, the 20% speed instead it's a tank revive. And these these scoundrel, like these bounty hunters have some gear 12 on them. And then the Datacron is required for the Commander Luke versus Jabba. That totally does work, at least at the lower level Jabbas. The higher level Jabbas, probably doesn't do as good of a Jabba at it. But one way or another, this message made me laugh. No one wants to get cheated, and it feels bad. Just keep in mind, folks, the off meta is out there. You can, if you want access to it, just watch my channel. All right, let's move on. We gotta unembiggen it now. All right, and let's move right along. So the question that we asked on the title card was, should you farm Zorii? She's really good. I was able to button mash my way into a couple pretty high banner wins against General Skywalker teams. Now, General Skywalker ain't what he used to be, but he's still a pretty strong team, and I think she probably has potential for more. I mean, right now she also has her own Datacron, so she has an Omicron and a Datacron, and you can use both for GAC. So she's really strong. She really is, and she's really tough to beat on defense. There's a ton of, if you have Tuskens, which, not a lot of people do. I just finally got Tuskens all the way to Relics. They're not even Relic 5 yet, though. I'm out of materials because all the different teams, and that's part of what I want to discuss here, guys. So, should you work on Zorii? I have Zorii as well, and she's been fantastic. No regrets. The thing is, there's a few different factors to it. You kind of want to look at this as a logical progression, such as, at some point I decided to abandon using periods and decided to go with parentheses, apparently, after the numbering. So, I don't know what the deal is, but there's so many new teams and stuff. So, like, there's Inquisition I didn't even mention. Tons of your own personal projects, too, right? Like, maybe you didn't have a good Traya squad until she just had a good Omicron, and now you want Traya. But, like, Jabba is a team that probably everyone is going to be working on, and there's, like, 5 or 6 characters you need to work on for that. If you haven't unlocked him yet, then you at least need to be working. There's like 13 characters. For Tuskens, depending on if you've already farmed the Jabba requirements and the Lord Vader requirements, you may only need to work on 3 Tuskens, but now they're starting to become farmable, and they take a lot of gear and stuff, and they're pretty important. I think they're going to be a decent meta team, at least on offense, just because they shut down, the way they shut down all those the turn meter train teams. It's very impressive, and it's going to be good for the raid. That's going to be a team you want to work on. The Cal requirements, you need 6 characters that are all crazy. Like, I had 2,000 Cairo pretty recently of each piece, and right now I have 800 of each. And I know that sounds like I'm like, oh gosh, like you still have so many, and I realize that I have a lot, but I've been using a lot. They've been requiring a ton of those. Not to mention, everyone has reported feeling Zeta poor because all the new characters require 2 Zetas. It's been a little crazy, unless they require 3, of course. But the Cal requirements, the 6 characters, 5 to unlock, and a 6th that is the legendary awesome version of himself. And then, depending on where you're at in the game, maybe you've just unlocked Riva or are about to in the next couple weeks or whatever, and Trench, you might have also unlocked him. And honestly, we'll talk about him more in a different video, but my initial impression was to think he wasn't good, but he keeps really challenging a lot of the teams that you kind of perceive would beat him. I recently found out that somewhat like a good player, in fact, like he lost to it with Starkiller. Like a Starkiller team tried to beat a Trench team on defense and just straight up lost. And that's Trench without an Omicron, because Trench, maybe he had Omicrons, but they only work in territory wars. So anyways, you probably want to be working on those. And the biggest factor for Zorii, guys, is if you already have Rey, then it's probably worth getting Zorii right now. Probably, because you only need 1 character. That's all you need. However, if you don't have Rey, which is most people, Rey is the least owned galactic legend. Maybe Jabba isn't, or maybe Jabba is right now, but eventually he'll way surpass Rey. Rey just doesn't have as many incentives. She's from fact, like you don't get as good of a fleet. You don't get like as many really solid beginners teams with it. She's a lot more difficult to understand and stuff than like Supreme Leader Kylo or Sith Eternal, who are kind of like fairly obvious on how to play a lot of their stuff, or at least on the surface. And and Rey's a little less flashy, less fun in some ways, and so a lot of people just kind of skip her, and I don't blame them for it, because also the unlock characters are just a chore, and a lot of them just suck, frankly. Like, and then it's like, well, at least some of the unlock characters for other Galactic Legends are like strong pilots for ships that are good, and her fleet it's not like awful, but it's also very, very far removed from consideration for even being like one of the stronger fleets. It needs more. It just needs more. We need more Paige Tico. So anyways, let's get another bomber in there. I don't think that'll work, but so it's like if you want to make it good, you have to have like a Relic 5 OG Poe. Why would I tell you should gear him? I don't want to do that. Unless you already have him, in which case, hey, look at that, you already have the good requirements. So, I mean, maybe it sounds simplistic, but I think that's the cutoff. My main account has her because I had Rey. My alt account will not have her, at least for a really long time, because I don't have Rey, and I don't intend to farm and gear 5 whole characters just to use Zorii. So, that's kind of where I'm at, folks. That's where I'm at. Now, the calm before the storm, that's what's going on right now. It's a little bit crazy, guys. So I feel a little overwhelmed. My gear supply is just totally shot right now. They keep releasing new characters, and my overall modding situation is kind of a disaster, because I don't have enough mods to support all these characters at the high end, and my opponents all do, and it's a mess. And I didn't even mention it, guys. I went into this week at number 14 on the leaderboard, so we keep staying up there pretty well. So I should have mentioned that, but one way or another, here's the thing. I'm overwhelmed by how many characters I have to gear, how many characters I have to farm, all this stuff. However, there's going to be more. So the road ahead is this month, sometime in April. They didn't specify when, so we could still have another 23 days or whatever until they release more stuff. But my guess is that it'll be a little sooner than that. And in it, they've hinted at it, and then I've heard some pretty like substantial rumors about like we're probably getting at least one new game mode. And I don't know how I feel about that. There's all kind of mixed feelings, but we'll know more about the raid. We'll know about all this stuff, guys, and that'll be sometime this month. We're also going to be getting Saw Gerrera, Tarful, and the Cal Survivor kits here pretty soon. And my guess is that it'll be pretty soon. I think that they're gonna make it real tough to get Cal the Survivor for anyone who doesn't just super whale out on Saw Gerrera, in my opinion. At least that's my guess. We're also going to get Datacron 8, which so 7 has been impactful, but it's mostly a stat set. After all the initial evaluation, that's kind of what set 7 is. Set 6 has been crazy game changing. Just structurally it changes everything, just like set 4 did. My guess is that set 8 will be something similar. We'll have all kinds of off meta stuff. My alt is going to chase all the squirrels, and it's going to be a whole mess. It's going to be a lot of fun though, is my guess, but we're gonna get that announcement soon. And then we just unlocked Trench. We don't know what the next conquest character is. Not to mention, there's also that Sith ship that the EA spoiled a little bit ago that supposedly has synergy with the Sith bomber and stuff that Malgus potentially drives, or at least Sith Empire Trooper. Lots of stuff coming our way. Not to mention, May the 4th is coming out here soon, which is like, that's our big, it's less than a month away, it looks like. And they give us all kinds of goodies. That should be good. We'll see. I'm interested to see how many Omicrons we get. I need to put a post out of, okay, this is a cool video idea. We'll do like the 9 theses. We probably don't have 99, the way Martin Luther had for condemning the Catholic Church, but We could probably do 9. The 19 theses, things that we could improve in the game, but Omicrons are one of them. I'm just going all over the place here though, folks. So hopefully, since Star Wars Celebration though, that's the time, like they have it every year or two, and this is when they announce all the new Star Wars stuff. And my guess is that CG is going to get in on that action a little bit, whether they're doing it from Star Wars Celebration or if they're like, hey, we're just gonna announce this cool new stuff at some point. Or maybe they have to wait for these announcements for the new stuff the new info to drop. But one way or another, guys, expect next week to be a very, very heavy news week for us. If it's not next week, it'll be the week right after that. So one way or another, let me know what your thoughts are. I've rambled long enough. I'll allow the other YouTubers a chance to exhibit. So thank you all, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Zareth prevails. Go watch that explained video, guys, about Trench. It's linked in the video description. Go, just do it now. Hit that thumbs up button. Even if you hate it, hit that thumbs up button. Do it for me, please. All right, guys. And if you want to share it with your friends and family, please do. Take care, folks.